Hi all, welcome back. So today in this video we'll be covering the part 2 of dynamic web handling, and in this video basically we'll be doing this HTML handling web table handling. So in the previous video we already covered these 3 points, right. So in this video what I'm going to do, so let me show you the website first. So it should be Chrome. Let's open it and let's navigate to this URL. Okay, let it load, and I think so. This is the simple web table, and this is basically a static web table. And I already told you in the previous video, like it doesn't matter whether you are handling a static web table or a dynamic web table, as long as you are doing, I mean, you are handling the web table in a correct way. So assume that assume this is a dynamic web table, and let's automate this part. So first we will be printing these values, and then the like here in the ppt, like we mentioned, like how to get a particular sale data of a country. So for example, I want to print the contact of this company, Ernest Handel. So or maybe we want to print the country of this company. So how we can do that? Okay, we need to fetch it, right? There may be a requirement like that. So what is the way, what way we can follow? And next we want to do like how to get data for a particular column from web table. So basically, let's say I want to get this column data, let's say this contact data or this country data or maybe any kind of column. If there, right now we have only 3 columns, right? So there may be a chance like in future 2 more columns gets added. So in that case, how do you handle it, right? So basically we have some way to do that. So let's go to PyCharm and let me create one new test method or test file. Test web table, or it can be like web table HTML. And I already told you, like in the previous part 1 video, if you have not watched that video, I will be adding the description. I will be adding that link in the description as well as in the eye icon. If you click on the icon on the top, you will see it. Okay, now um, so basically here, uh, see, let me inspect it. And any web table you are handling, so you always get something like tbody table, td. So you should understand the structure. So basically I already explained in the previous video, so I'm not repeating it again. Just letting you know, like table, tbody, tier, td. So this is a typical table. Okay, so let me get the rows first. So what we can do, here it is a table, so I can take this id. So id has id. Okay, it's giving some weight. Okay, let me go again. Okay, so let me create one XPath now, or what I can do, table slash custom. Okay, and then I can do tr. So you can see it highlighting like third tier, fourth tier, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. Okay, this is the first one. That's fine. So it will be counting this as first row, then this is the second row, third row. Like this we have around 7 rows. So let's copy it. And okay, so before that I should create one template. So let me add it, and let's remove this part which we do not need. And let's rename. this method test web table html. Okay, this is the URL. I'm adding it here. Okay, next the rows. So page dot locator, and here this is the CSS locator for rows. So what it should return? It should return the all the rows, right? So the 7 rows. Now we know like how we can print it, and that we will do. So let me use like index equals to 0. So we'll be using for a while loop, and let's say index. Uh, so until the index, I mean index less than rows dot count. Okay, so this while loop should continue until index is less than rows dot count. Now here inside the while loop we have to print the value of rows, right? So we can do a print statement here. So print rows dot init of index, init of index, and dot inner text. Okay, and next index should be incremented by 1. That's it. And here I think we have to do some space. We have to add some space, and this warning message gone. There is one more warning, so it's saying unused import expert, so we can remove it. Still one warning. Why is that? Okay, test HTML blank link at the end of the file. Okay, so we can remove this blank link. Okay, so let's run it. So pytest -s dash dash headed and basics, then the file name, test web table, I think. Yep. And next we can give some slow motion of 1000 seconds. Even it is not required, but I'm just giving it. So let's run it now. And this rows dot count will give us the total number of rows. So here now let's see whether it's printing correctly or not, whatever data we want. Okay, so it's we got some output, and you can see it's properly printing everything which we need it. So we need this table like as it is. We got it right here. It is. I hope you got it. And even if you do not want the first row, that also you can easily omit it. So for that, what you have to do, you have to just use index plus 1. Simple. That's it. So we can now again run it. So the first row should be skipped. I think execution is completed. Let's see what happens now. Okay, there is some error. Let's see what happens. So timeout error, and the reason, let's see. Uh, Okay, waiting for the selector for init. Okay, so what happens like index plus one we have mentioned, right? So basically we have to first, I mean, you got the, I hope you understood it. If not, I will explain it. So here we have mentioned like index plus one. So you can see the output, it's got printed correctly. I mean, see, from here only it's printed. We didn't want to include the first row. Okay, so from the second row only it is printing, and at the end when the last row is printed, after that what happens here, index got incremented by one, right? So and I mean see, let's say index is 0. First it was becomes 1. So first 1 got printed, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When the index is 6, it goes there 6 plus 7, right? So now 6 less than 7, right? And it goes like inside this while loop, it becomes 7. Now init of 7, there is no init of 7, right? Because index starts from 0. So 0, if there is 7 elements in rows, the index, what is the value of index of the last element? That is 6, right? So if we are accessing seventh element, like in init of 7, okay, in that case it should return, it should not return anything, right? And it should throw error because there is no such element. So it's saying like something like that, like you can see here, uh, here in this part only they got it got failure, and it says like init 7th. So there is waiting for the selector because there is no selector, right? And that is why it's failing. So let's see how we can resolve this thing. uh, okay, so index 0 now. So here we can do something like this, or no, it will not work. So what we can do, we can start from 1, simple, right? So let's do that. Okay, now it printed correctly. So next, move forward. So moving forward to the next point, that is how to get a particular sale data for a company. So let's do that also. So here I want to get the data for this company, right? That is this contact I want to fetch. So how do you do that? We already did that, this kind of scenario in the Angular table also, but here we will face one challenge that I will be showing you. So we got the rows, right? So from the rows we have to fetch one row that will match this text. Okay, Ernest handle. So here, um, row. Okay, so the row which we want, that is this one. So we can do like rows dot locator, and we know like we have to give scope. So we know like this is augmenting another locator where we are using scope because we are filtering something, and we're filtering based on this text. Okay, out of those seven locators. So scope, and here we have to give has text, and has within has text we have to mention this company name. Okay, now after that, so we now at this point we got the row, right? So from this row we also can we can give like row dot locator, and we can give let's say this is the, I mean this contact we want to get, right? So basically we reach to this third row or 0 1 2 3, yeah, third row. So if I just hover over here, so it's this row, right? So we have reached to this position here in this part, right? We have just filtered out this row, and now we have to reach to this one, td2, right? So now we can just mention like slash slash td of 2. So if that is here, you can see it's printing all the contacts, all the TD nodes, right? Whatever TD nodes are available. But as we have already reached to this row, we have already identified this unique I mean, we have already a unique locator for this row, which is this one, uh, here, this one. So we can simply use this one. So these two part we also can merge, right? So I can just remove this row part, and this becomes here. So hope you got it. So if you have not watched the first video, you'll not be able to understand what I'm doing here. So I'm not going to explain once again. So you just watch the first part and then come back here. Okay, so we got now the contact for this company name, which is Ernest Handel. So contact I'm mentioning. So this is the locator we got for this value, right? Now let's print it. So print contact dot inner text, and let's see whether it's got printed or not. Okay, it's taking some time to load the URL, so that is why it's waiting. Yeah, it's loaded. Now it should be quick. Yep. So see, it's printed this Ronald Mendel, right? So this value got printed here. So it's correctly working. Now the question is like, let's say tomorrow this contact comes here and country coming here in this part. So maybe some requirement is changed, and that is why this is dynamic table. We are assuming this is a dynamic table and we are handling it. So this Wix path will fail. Then again we have to update it to like 3 or 4 or 1, maybe wherever this contact field will go. We have to just update this XPath, right? Which is not that good. If this is a dynamic web table, then it can happen very frequently, and it will be very difficult to handle. So we have to find some way so that we do not have to do that. Okay, so one way you can see like these two, this is basically this, we have to find this index. I mean, this is a column index. Okay, so if we as find like uh, see, if you say td of 1, see here, if you give td of 1, then you can see it's giving these values, company values, right? All the company values. And if you give td of 3, then it is giving country. So basically it's you can see here th, there should be a th where it is here. So you can see there is 3 th, right, in this particular table, customer table. So we have to fetch the second one. So we have to add some logic in our code so that we get the column index for this contact. So we should give us 2. Okay, and this if we are trying to find company, then it should give us 1. If we are trying to find country, it should give us 3, something like that. Okay, and let's say in future 2 more columns are added, then it should give us something like that. I mean, there should be again another 2 th, right? And that 2 field, okay, maybe some other field called let's say this is contact, this is country, and maybe there is a company, some other thing like CEO name or something like that. So that CEO column should be like we have to give some another index called fourth index, right? So that is how we should find it. So we just have to pass, I mean, we can create a generic method, and in that method we can pass the column header. Okay, let's say I'm passing it contact, and it should give me the locator of this value. Okay, so let's see that now. So we have to find this index, right, in a different way. So let's see way how we can find it. So this is our th, and let's uh, create this is the tr. So table customer, so dot th. So it's giving me this three value, right? Now I can create a new row. So we can say like columns, column headers, page dot locator, this one. So this should give me all the column headers, all three column headers. Now we need to find something here. So now what we can do, I mean, it would not be good idea to create this thing here. So we can do something like uh, we can create a method called get data by company. Okay, and here we will be passing page, and let's say the company name, and uh, another thing we can pass like the column name. Okay, and let's create a function. So we have created this function here, and this company name should be like, let's say this one, and the column name should be contact. Okay, now let's move this to part here. So we got the column headers here, and basically we got the company name as well. So here we can replace this company name by has text here. This part should be replaced. This is the variable where we are passing this company name. And these two, what we can do, we can also update it with something called um, column index. Okay, this should we should create this index. Okay, right now it is none. I mean, this index should be updated here. So I'm using f string formatting. Okay, so we'll get this two value will be getting. Okay, we'll get it through this column name. So whatever column name will be passed, let's say we're adding, if you're passing contact, then this column index becomes 2. Okay, that will be doing it now. So we got the column headers. Now what we have to do here, we have to again loop through it. So index equals to 0, and again we'll be passing, creating on while loop, while column index less than column header column headers dot count, right? The same way, same approach will, I mean the same thing we are doing, nothing new. Like earlier we also did the same thing, like we are iterating over the rows. Now we are iterating over these three columns. Okay, and here we'll be checking if what, if column headers dot init of index dot inner text equals to column name, the column name we are passing. So let's say we are passing contact, right? So first column is company, so first time it will match, no, it will not be matching, right? So because this value will return company, and here it will be first getting it contact. So this if condition will not be satisfied. Now in the second iteration, here we will get contact, so this value becomes contact, and here also it is contact, so it will match, right? And then uh, then it will go inside this if condition, right? And now our index value, what value we are getting here, so let's say this index value is 0. So we can do something. uh, so what we can do, index value becomes 1. So first index is 1, so next it becomes so column index equals to index, right? So what is happening here, we have just changed it to 1. So first index is 1, so in the first iteration 1 less than equals to, so this value should be 3, right? Because currently we have only 3 columns. So 1 less than equals to 3, yes, it goes inside this while loop. Now it will check the column headers dot nth index of 1 dot inner text equals to column name. So here there will be a problem because nth index of 1 with return contacts. So basically there is a small problem here. So what we can do, uh, index minus 1 dot equals to, and that, yeah, we can do something index minus 1, that is also fine. And if it is becomes 3, so column headers dot count equals to 3, and then 3 minus 2, that is fine. So let's become make it index minus 1. So first iteration it is 1. Now init of 1 minus 1 0, so init of 0 dot inner text equals to column name, that would be false. So it will not go inside this if statement, and again it will iterate index, index would become index plus 1. So let's do that also here, index plus equals to 1, and here it becomes 2. So again it will check 2 minus 1, nth of 1 dot inner text equals to column name. Now column name is, we know, like it is contact, right? So now index of 1 this value, so this is now contact, so contact equals to contact, so that is like the condition is matching, or it's evaluating to true. So this column index which we have previously make it none, it will become the index of 2. So because we know index is currently 2, right? So column index becomes 2. Now it will get here and it will pass. So here you can see it's giving a red error, that is it's not getting the rows. So let's get the rows also here. So this is the rows. I know it is like we are reusing, we are not reusing our code, so it's not a good approach, but in page object model part we will be resolving these issues. Okay, I mean this is just a standalone file, right? So we have to, we cannot create, we cannot make it like that. So don't worry about it. So for now just understand the logic, that's enough. Reformat it. Okay, so we got this column index here, and let's run it. So let me remove it, and here this we should get, also you can remove this part. So this should return something, right? So we are returning, we are getting the contact, so return contact dot inner text, and here we should expect something called contact value, and print contact. Now we should see the same output now, but here the benefit we are getting, we are not hard coding the index. So index is dynamically generated. We are not now, if this is a dynamic OTB, now we are not bothered, we are safe, because we know like whatever position this contact column is, it will automatically handle it. This code will automatically handle it. If it is at the end also, this code can handle this code. I mean, this code can handle it very gracefully. So let's run it now. So as you can see, it passed and we got the same output that we got previously. Now let's see if you change this value, company values, let's see, or let's say we want to get, let's say I want to just pass this value, and let's see, this time I want to get the value of the country. Okay, so I can just pass Canada. Oh no, sorry, we want to get Canada, so we have to pass contact country. Okay, now let's run it. We should see country in the output. See, our now our code is like, we are reusing it, or this we are not writing again another code. We just change the value of the parameter and it is handling it. So you can see Canada got printed. Now if there is two more columns are there, just imagine it, if there is two more columns are there, it would also print those values. I mean, any country, any value of the, so what I mean, like, sorry, uh, any particular cell data we can print. Okay, so we just have to pass the company name and the column header name, that's it. Okay, now next, see one more thing. So last one, how to get all data for a particular column from a web table. So we just want to get, let's say there is a requirement, we just have to print all the contacts of this table. Okay, that's the requirement. Now let's see how do we get it. So we have got tr, right, and now td. So it's printing here td, no, not this one. So let's create a XPath now. Table at the rate id equals to customer. Okay, now slash tr, or double slash tr, I think, yeah, and then slash td, and we need td of 2, right? So here also we need this column index. So let's get it now. So column data, so column data and page dot locator, this one. So let's create one more method for that also. So get data, get what name we can give, get all data for a column. Okay, and same way we will be passing page and the column name. We do not company name for now. Okay, just the column name is enough, and it should return me column data. Now let's create this method. Okay, and here this code should go here, and we need to uh, dynamically create, I mean we need to get this data ID, I mean this index 2, that should be dynamically coming. So what we can do, we can again format it if, and it should be like, we can give something like this, column index. Okay, not this one here, column index. So first column index is none. Okay, now uh, now what we need this value, I think this column header, again we need it. So, and we can just copy this part. So the same logic will be applicable for this one as well. So we just need to update this column, we need to just update this column index with the correct index based on this column name, right? So here this is the column name, and we are updating it. I think it's look good. So now we have to return column data dot all inner text. Okay, because there are multiple text will be coming, so we are using all inner text because there are multiple locators. This column data value is entering this page dot locator will give us multiple locators, right? So we need this all inner texts. Now let's run it, and this time let's run the single method only. I think there is one method only, right? Yeah, so let's run it, and this time I just want to skip this print message here, and here I want to, so we are returning all inner text, and here we want to print it, print column data. Okay, and here also what we can do, we can give some line like something like this, so that we know like what it should print up to this. After that this line should be printed, and then we should get all the data, all the column data for the column name, that is country. Let's run it. Okay, it gave some error. Let's see what is the problem. Unbound local error, local variable column index is referenced before assignment. Okay, now let's see it. Ah, okay, we have made a mistake here, so we have entered column name, but it should be column index. So we have just initialized this column index with none, and let's run it once again. Okay, it again failed. Let's see what is the problem. Okay, let's run it once again. Yeah, looks like it's correctly properly getting this country values. So Germany, Mexico, Australia, UK, Canada, and Italy. So we got all the country. Now let's see if we can print all the contacts as well. So we just have to update this value with contact. Okay, and here this is contact. And just one thing to note here, this method which we have created, we can optimize it in a better way, like something like that. We can make like this column name. So if customer is giving, like, we have to give the exact currently this name contact. Okay, that's the requirement. Maybe we can give some lower text or inner text, upper text, we can make it so that um, this uh, method should not be failing. Okay, that we can try also, but it is not mandatory. I mean, we are assuming the user will pass whatever value you are here giving, like contact, the correct. I mean, they, it doesn't matter kindly. I mean, we should give this contact in a proper way. Whatever contact name is given here, we should give this name. It shouldn't mean with C in the small letter. It should not happen like that. Okay. Now let's run it once again. So this time we are fetching all the contact. See, we got all the contacts as well. Yeah, in a list form. So now we can, if you have to verify something or whatever next requirement we have, you can easily do it. So we can also by rows also we can get each row as well. So here we can see these rows we are getting, right? So if you have to print it, so you can also get the rows as well in the same way. Okay, so that's it for this today's video. So if you have liked it, do like it, and so please subscribe to the channel. And so we'll be see in the next video. So bye.